In fact, it is the oldest university in the world. The oldest university was not Oxford. It was not Oxford. It wasn't even Al-Azhar in Cairo. This even predates Al-Azhar in Cairo. So Fatima al-Fihri, this woman, was the first person to establish the oldest university in the world. You might want to, some of you go and tell your history teachers about this particular point. The oldest universities was not in Paris or in Oxford. It wasn't the Sorbonne or it wasn't Oxford. It was in Morocco, the Qarawiyyin. This was the oldest award-granting university. So when you go to a university, inshallah, most of you, inshallah, will go, I see very young faces, you will get what they call a degree. A degree. You get a certificate, a shahada, telling you what subject you passed with what grade. It's like a GCSE as well. In A-levels, you get grade, you get a certificate to say what grade you got. In the Qarawiyyin Mosque University that Fatima al-Fihri founded, she established, this was the oldest award-giving educational institution in the world. So what Fatima al-Fihri actually did was she established a mosque/university, mini university, that became the educational center of the Western Islamic world. Whatever they had learned, even non-Muslims used to come to Al-Qarawiyyin and learn, enroll and learn. Because the Muslims at that time, we were, alhamdulillah, very advanced in our educational sort of position. We were the guardians of knowledge. We were the guardians of knowledge. Of course, it's a reverse now. We're not the guardians of knowledge at the moment. So, at that time, the whole world would come to the Islamic cities to learn the sciences, chemistry, biology, astronomy, physics, philosophy, theology, language. You know, all these sciences, people used to come and learn geography at the Islamic institutions, and one of them then being the most important, Al-Qarawiyyin. So what Fatima al-Fihri actually did was establish something that became so great so quickly that it became an engine for the European non-Muslims in Europe to help them in their development and their intellectual development as a continent. Then what's so important and significant about Fatima al-Fihri and her establishing the oldest university in the world? What is it that we can reflect and learn from her legacy, what she left behind? You know, the obvious things we can observe is that she was a woman. She was a woman. She was very rich. She was very rich. She was from a very high social class. Yeah. She was pious. She was charitable. I mean, she gave all her money. And of course, she will be rewarded for that by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for what she started. But I want to mention three things that we ought to reflect on very seriously. Three things. Amongst many others, but three I want to really focus your attention on. The first is this. Fatima al-Fihri establishes a university. Yeah? Now think about that. And think about now the times that we're living in. Especially the young girls, our sisters out there. You know, we, the young girls, are given a vision in life, a kind of aim in life, that really only talks about their physical beauty and what they own. Girls today are given a vision in life that all that matters really is how you look, your physical beauty, and what you own, what you have. So the physical beauty, you know, like orange tans, you know, like tangerines, yeah, you know, lying on a sunbed or putting a fake lotion on, you know, the body size, the perfect body size, whatever it is, 6, 8, whatever it is, you know, your designer labels, you know, these kind of physical things. And the other thing they're told, or young girls are sort of pushed, the vision they're pushed, is you have it's all about your personal pleasure. It's all about having a good time, partying, falling over in the street drunk, you know, all these kind of things. It's all about your happiness, your personal pleasure. It's all about you feeling good. It's all about looking good feeling good. And this is the vision really given to the young girls, especially in our times now, through advertisement, through soaps, through films, through dramas, whatever way, books, magazines, everything. Whatever you pick up, whatever you see, whatever you hear, it's all geared towards teaching, young girls, especially young women, about looks and physical beauty and about personal pleasure. Fatima al-Fihri, may Allah be pleased, have mercy on her, she had a broader vision. She was young. Her broader vision was, how can I make my society and my community better? How can I make my society and my community better? Yeah, I'm a rich woman, I'm a young woman, Allah's given me health, She's given me money, She's given me status. How can I use this for the betterment of my people, my community? Look at the maturity in that thinking. Look at the maturity in that thinking. Her vision was beyond how you look and what you own. It was more geared towards, how can I make the future better for the people I'm living with? How can I preserve Islamic learning and Islamic practice? How can I preserve ibadah and ilm? How can I preserve ibadah, worshipping Allah, and knowledge, ilm? This is what she was thinking about. How can I preserve the Islamic culture? This is the deep vision that she had. That's the mature, broad, deep vision that she had. And she donated, of course, all her money towards that aim. She sacrificed all her money as a waqf, as an endowment for this aim. For this aim. Purely out of the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's the first point. In an age where we're pumped with messages about physical beauty and it's about what you own, your cars and your handbags and all the rest of it, and about pursuing your personal pleasure, Fatima al-Fihri's vision was, how do I make my community better, and a community that worships Allah and preserves knowledge. Look at the difference between the two. The second point I want to mention about Fatima, an observation or a lesson that we can learn from her life. There is a common misconception, and this is still bandied around in the media, is that Muslim women made no substantial contribution to their own civilization. They were in their houses, no one knew who they were, no one ever saw them. Yeah, they were just rolling bread for their husbands, cooking it in the house, getting their fingers burnt. That was it. There's all men running the society. There's all men running the society. Well, this example of Fatima al-Fihri, may Allah have mercy on her, completely shatters this. And we're talking about 200 years after the Prophet. So it's early period of Islam. We're not talking about 100 years ago. We're not talking about 200 years ago. We're not talking about 300. We're talking about over 1,000 years ago. We're talking about over 1,000 years ago. A young woman with her sister. Remember, her sister established the Al-Andalus Mosque in Fez as well. So it's not just her by herself. There are many women like her, perhaps whose records we don't have. Maybe they will be discovered in the future. But this shows that it is false that Muslim women cannot be part of their society in the public space. This proves false. This completely undermines this. And it completely undermines the idea that Muslim women, their dress code stops them from becoming a member of their society. This example, Fatima al-Fihri, who was covered, and in Muslim society the women used to cover. This completely proves the idea false, that you need to take off your headscarf in order to be an active member of your society. So this idea in the West that Muslim women are mute, they have no voice in Islamic history, they didn't do anything, they weren't teachers, they weren't scholars, they weren't businesswomen, we don't know anything about them. This is completely false. It's completely false. This is a misconception about Islamic history and culture. So from this point, women, especially Muslim women, should feel emboldened, empowered and proud of their Islamic values. That this is what Islam allows, before even Europe recognized women as being fully human. These rights were given to women, and women enjoyed that freedom under Islam, because the Sharia allowed it. So we should feel very proud of our culture and our heritage. That our deen really is about human flourishing, making society better. Making society better. Fatima al-Fihri's life, may Allah have mercy on her, should make us think, should prompt us to think as Muslims about how we can take her example and contextualize it for our own personal lives. Especially the Muslim sisters. How do we make our lives relate to what she did? Really, we should think about that. Our purpose in life really isn't just about a car's, career and companionship. You know, the 3 C's. Yeah, having a car, having a career and meeting someone. Yes, these things are part of life, to own these things. But they're not the ultimate purpose in life. What Fatima al-Fihri's life should make us think about: her sacrifice, her extreme charity, her piety, her active engagement, her hard work. All this should make us think about that, you know, I want to be someone who wants to make my society better. In fact, I want to be someone who wants to make the world better. Fatima al-Fihri made her society, her locality better. We should be thinking, how can I be someone who wants to change my society that I live in, and wants to even change the world to make it a better place to live in? To make it a better place to live in. To make it a place that made Fatima al-Fihri the young woman she was. To make her the young, mature, intellectual, pious woman she was. And so I really urge you all to think about it. To think about what she's done. Go study the Qarawiyyin, go study the history of what this university, how it was established and what it's about. This is part of our history.